White Night by Tatjana Motta.
The guests, the street, the host, the woman, and the man. This city is ideal for a few days. There's everything. Clubs, stores, churches, museums, markets, restaurants, parks, everything. The sea, the beach, the hills, architecture, history, art. The people are hospitable, naturally welcoming. It's not one of those cities where tourists get grabbed from behind, robbed on public transport, cheated on the restaurant bill. People who come here don't want to leave. There's something for everyone. The young, families and children, women, men, couples. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have a nice trip?
Very long.
But we can call it a nice trip.
12 hours on the bus.
Why didn't you fly?
We wanted to see the countryside.
Plus, he's afraid of flying.
You'll certainly want to rest now.
We slept on the bus. We just need time enough to put down our backpacks, shower, and then we'll go out.
Your first time here?
Yes. It's the absolute first time for both of us. We're only here for a few days. There is never enough time. Scraps of time is all we have, but scraps aren't enough to really travel. We decided to leave at the last minute because we didn't know if we'd have any free time.
You're lucky to find a place. These days, there's not a hole to curl up in anywhere. It's holiday. People here wait all year for these days. Starting tonight, everything closes. Everyone stops doing what we're doing. They stop being who they are, let it all go and make a ruckus.
We know. We've read all about it. We can't wait.
You only found a place because someone canceled at the last moment. A couple more or less like you. Couples like you always come here. It's the perfect type of apartment because it's little, but it has everything. It's central. If there's a little noise at night, for a couple like you, it's no problem. During this holiday, everything's in movement. For a family? No, that wouldn't be right. A family that comes back in the evening with children doesn't want to be pushing through drunk mass at the door trying to get to the bathroom. They urinate in the streets and smash glasses and bottles all night long. But it's no problem, because in the morning, it's all clean again. They come by around 6 with the garbage trucks, and it's as though nothing happened.
Maybe now we could go up to the apartment? We'd like to rest up a bit before everything gets started.
Certainly. You'd like to go up. You're tired and hungry, wiped out by the trip. However, there's a problem. Unfortunately, I couldn't inform you before this. I just became aware of it. I came in like I always do. I always come 20 minutes before the guests to air out the house, and I bring something to eat as I welcome. Like you read in the description and in other guests' reviews. If you read them.
Yes, we read them.
Those are good reviews.
Yes. What's the problem?
Something unexpected, something out of order, something exploded in the bathroom. It wasn't the guests before you. 2 very fine people. After they left, I came over to clean and everything was as it should be. It must have been during the night.
We can come back later. Let's go have a drink. We'll take a walk. Maybe we can just set down our backpacks so you have time to resolve the problem. We're on vacation. Our schedule is open.
Naturally, I'd like to let you in to put down your backpacks. But as it is, the apartment is in no condition to show.
How long will it take to fix?
There's nothing I can do. During the holidays, it's impossible to find a repairman. The apartment is unusable. It is uninhabitable. It is inaccessible.
He says we can't get in.
I heard.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. There's literally shit everywhere.
So we have nowhere to sleep tonight.
I understood what he said. Now we'll see how we can come to an agreement. Our problem is that it's very difficult to find a place during the holidays.
These days, it's impossible to find a place to stay, but it's important not to give up. Let's not become enemies. Guests are friends. What happened, it's true. It's very serious. It's my responsibility. It is the responsibility of the host to guarantee his guests are welcome. And if it's not so, It's the host who loses. Believe me, for me, hospitality is the most important thing. Hospitality is what is truly beautiful. Mine is not a real risk, I know. Perhaps I risk a bad review. A single terrible review is not so serious, but it matters to me. Reviews, they are the proof of my commitment. They guarantee I can go on renting. I need to rent this apartment. I live on this rent. It's a small property, only 45 square meters. But it's mine, and it's my blessing. While I rent my place, a friend puts me up. I say this, not to cause you pain, but to ask you, please, truly do not destroy me with a terrible review. Also because there's no reason. You're in luck. During these days, finding a hole to curl up in is truly impossible, but you mustn't worry about anything. It's all taken care of for you. You don't even have to make a call. I already have a solution, a perfect solution for a couple such as yourselves. My brother has a small apartment he doesn't use. An efficiency, 6th floor with an elevator, filled with light. It has everything. You can set yourselves up there. It's comfortable, well connected. There's supermarkets, cafes, a hospital. It's in a quiet neighborhood. Families live there. People there get up in the morning and travel downtown to work. It's quiet in the evening. It's not as central as here, but it's only a few minutes by subway. You can rest there before the celebrations begin. My brother will bring you the keys in a restaurant here nearby, a restaurant I know well, and which I recommend. And if you'd allow me, I'd be very glad to offer you something. You're my guests. Shall we go?
Perfect.
Can we think about it a moment?
I mean, why not?
Don't worry, I am not in a hurry. Take all the time you need. I will step away to give you time to decide. I'll wait for you at the subway entrance. Once you've decided, we can be there in a few minutes. The host goes away. He goes very far away. He's minuscule on the horizon, a tiny point. He may watch them, but it's not possible for him to hear them.
We can evaluate what is proposed to us before leaping blindly into a situation we know nothing about, stumbling in the dark after someone we barely know. Look, we don't know the city, and don't know whether what we're about to choose is a good opportunity or something else. Whether it's really the only possibility we have, or if there are others.
Or we can trust. Anyway, we have nothing to lose. We have no commitments. We have no schedule, and we don't want a typical vacation. Plus, we're together, you and me. And if this guy wanted to mug us for the pure pleasure of it, strangle us, cut us in pieces, drink our blood, and sell our organs, someone would certainly know how to track him down thanks to our reservation on the site, where we've been registered. It's clear as the sun that for a maniac, this would not be the best way to reel in victims.
Wow, you've really thought of everything.
Because I know you. You like details. I know if you don't imagine all the most catastrophic outcomes a choice might lead to, you never choose.
So you know I think he's going to take us to a dark storage closet and torture us for hours.
All foreseen.
And they can't track him down because the profile was a false one?
Anything else?
He won't kill us right away. If the victim dies right away, the story is less interesting.
Depends on your point of view.
The point of view is ours, that of the victim.
So one victim has to save herself. One is always saved, but only one.
Usually it's her, the one who doubted at the beginning.
We have to find out how it ends. Saying no now is like slamming the door on an opportunity.
Maybe.
I think it's the only possible alternative if we want to have a shower in the next 3 days.
Maybe. In any case, in every horror story, the protagonists take exactly the path everyone else can see is the wrong one. They're the only ones who don't see. And there's also another thing. In their eyes, the wrong path always seems like the only possible choice.
Every choice is a shot in the dark, my love.
Dinner. Outside an expensive restaurant. Shall we have a bite to eat?
Gladly.
You're my guests, obviously.
I'm not very hungry.
It makes more sense to eat here rather than downtown with all the people later on.
What do you like?
They told us the fish is excellent in this area.
Fish is a real speciality here. Loads of fresh fish arrive every day, sea and fresh water. The mountains are at your doorstep. They gather wild herbs and mushrooms up there. And there's the game. You absolutely must taste the meat. The steak is incredible here. Cuts 2 centimeters thick, unbelievably tender. This is a simple place where you can eat well, meat with French fries. That's what I recommend to order here. Steak and fries for 3?
Agreed. Sure, why not?
Perfect. Shall we go in?
Don't worry if everyone looks at you in there. They'll look at you because it's obvious you're tourists. This is not a place for tourists.
You mean it's not all touristy?
Because it's in a residential area?
Tourists don't come here. It's not even in the guides.
So we'll see something tourists don't usually get to see.
Possibly. It's a place like lots of others in the world. Every city has places like this.
In our city, there aren't many tourists. During holidays or on weekends, it completely empties out.
It's a city more or less like this one, only there's no sea. And no mountains close by. It's in a bowl valley that fills with fog in the winter and humidity in summer. Lots of people come from outside to work, from the outskirts or even farther. And because of that, people who live and work there are mostly people nostalgic about home. Rivers of people with a great nostalgia for home fill the streets every day. People there are hard and belligerent. There was a period when most went away to find work and very few remained. Then the city filled up again, but the few who had remained had become silent and coarse. So the people from outside bonded only with other outsiders, and the city kept on seeming that way to the new arrivals, like a crusty, cold person who doesn't want to talk. At first, you hate him, then after a while you get to know him and become fond of him. But it takes time. Tourists don't have a lot of time. That's why they don't come to our city.
We're thinking of getting out of there.
Where would you like to go?
We don't know. Maybe somewhere by the sea.
For the moment, we both have good jobs, so we're not thinking seriously about it.
Maybe here.
It's something we bring up every so often, but it's just talk.
Everyone who leaves is happy about their choice. They come back for a few days and you ask how they're doing. They're always doing great.
That's what you tell people back home, so they won't worry about you. Maybe it's hell. You have nowhere to sleep. You're a foreigner among strangers. Everyone looks at you because you're obviously not from there. No one speaks to you. But you don't want the people who stayed home to worry. You say everything is great, fantastic even.
It's sad.
It's one way of telling the story. Your story is yours alone. You can tell it differently every time, and no version of them is false.
Not being able to tell people at home that you're having trouble is like being unable to ask for help.
When a person arrives to a place they don't know, it's a new life. They become a different person. You, for example, are 2 tourists. At home, you're not 2 tourists. You're 2 people. Here, you're also 2 people. But the others see you as tourists. So you're 2 different people. Different things happen to you. You react differently than you react at home. When I'm at home, I am the city. But when I'm outside, in a city I don't know, the city is outside me. It's a force invading me, and I have to defend myself or let myself be invaded. After a few days, no one notices. After a while, however, it would be hard to explain it all back home. So you might find yourself making a phone call to someone you love and not know how to explain what you did that day, who you were with, and why you made certain choices. You feel it wouldn't make sense to them. You wouldn't know what words to use. The words don't come, so you hang up after having said just a tiny bit of it all. A tiny bit that's, is it enough? It's not false, but it's not enough for everything. And then the calls become less and less frequent, and one day you stop calling at all, or even answering the phone when it rings. Have you traveled a lot? I've taken only one trip in my life, to come live here.
You weren't born here?
No, I was born in a city far away. Then I moved here to study medicine. There's a very fine university.
Do you miss home?
Now that I've finished studying, my mother and brother have come here to join me.
I think they're calling you.
They call me many times a day, even though we live in the same city. Before they came, they called less often. They didn't believe anything I was telling them, so they stopped calling. Now that they're here, they believe me. Now they've seen it with their own eyes, and they call me continuously.
Of course. But I think someone is calling you right now. The cell phone is ringing.
I know. I hear it. If it's not a problem for you, I'll answer it.
It's no problem for us.
Not at all. You must answer.
Excuse me. Hello? Yes, Mother. I told you I was going to have some dinner with some guests. Very nice. Yes. Okay. I'll talk to you. How's brother? Great. Okay. Bye-bye. Do you feel like a bite?
We'd be glad to.
You must be hungry.
We're not hungry. We ate a sandwich on the bus.
Good, because I just spoke to my brother. There was a little confusion. It's all fine now. He's waiting for us with the keys. Not here, though, but close by. We better go meet him before the celebration really gets started. I know my brother. At that point, he'll disappear and be impossible to find among all those thousands just like him who could be him, but they no longer remember who they are. I told you, that's what this party is like. What do you say if we go now? It's close by. Just a couple of tram stops.
A dark alley. Do you think he can hear us?
No, it's too far. He's running. I can't keep up.
I just want to point out that we're entering a blind alley in the dark following a drunken derelict.
He's not a drunken derelict.
I know, but I feel as though we're doing something like that.
Let's go.
Oh, why the sudden rush?
We'll miss the tram.
Wasn't it close by?
I don't know.
He didn't even notice we stopped.
He said we have to hurry. They're waiting for us with the keys.
You're going along with him only because you want to see where he's leading us. And you also don't know whether there really is this second apartment or he's just playing with us.
We don't have a lot of alternatives.
You could only say that if we tried to find something else.
At least we're with a local guide.
He's not actually from here.
He lives here, so he's local. Did you realize he wasn't from here before he said so?
I can't make him out anymore. He's vanished.
He must have turned a corner.
Are you happy with this experience?
Which?
The one of getting dragged by a local who turns out not to be a local, running from one end of the city to another?
Whether it's an experience or not, we'll decide only at the end. Do you want to stop?
I don't want to stop.
You don't trust him.
No.
We can turn back. Look for a room somewhere. It won't be the greatest, but we're not afraid of anything. We can adapt. We came here to enjoy a vacation, to be together, to see someplace new, to have fun. That's why people go on vacation. I'll run to him and tell him not to bother. He's been very kind, but we don't need him anymore. I'll come up with something. I'll tell him some friends we ran into offered us hospitality, even though it's clear at a glance we have no friends here.
I don't trust him, but I want to see where he's taking us.
Let's go.
I'm coming. You go ahead, catch up with him, and wait for me.
Where are you going?
Into the cafe.
What cafe?
That one.
Why?
Because I have to go to the bathroom.
Are you sure you want to go in there alone? In the only deserted cafe in a dark alley?
Looks like a normal cafe, like in any city.
That cafe.
The woman.
And a girl.
Hi.
Hi.
Is there anyone here?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you work all by yourself?
My parents went to get ready.
Do you mind if I use the bathroom?
The bathroom is for customers only. But since my mother's not here, I'll let you go. You're lucky. I'm on your side. At school, when I ask to go and they say no since I've already gone before or there's an important announcement so I can't leave, I suffer. I hate sitting there all those hours without moving. If I sit there immobile all those hours holding in my pee, I can't hear a single word. I'm about to explode, and all I can think about is getting out because they say no. And I can't even pay so I can go to the bathroom, but a customer can always pay something. I don't know, a bottle of water? And no one will say they can't use the bathroom because they paid.
Sure, of course. I'll have a bottle of water.
You want one? You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just use the bathroom. I'm not like my mother, nor my teachers. You can use the bathroom as much as you want. If it was up to me, you can go upstairs into my house to use that bathroom and take a shower. It's through that way. You go up and the bathroom is the last on the left of the hallway. It's a clean bathroom with green tiles. It's my favorite room in the house. I shut myself in there so I don't have to hear anybody. There's nobody up there. All my brothers went to the celebration that's getting underway. And my parents must have already left. But I'm too little, so I can't go out. They said, stay home and don't go out. They think I don't know today's the first day of the festival. They think since I'm the littlest, I must be a complete idiot. They say, stay home, or at most, you can go downstairs to the cafe and make a sandwich. Anyway, at this time of day, we should already be closed because we mostly do breakfast and sometimes lunch, and only the cafes downtown stay open during the festival. So they believe I'm a total simpleton and think I don't know that exactly today is the day of the celebration. And at most, I'll realize the party's started when I hear the music and fireworks. And the most I'll do is cry in my room and pout for a few days. They do it every year. But this year, it's not going to work because I've grown up. Don't you have to go to the bathroom?
What you're telling me is important.
No one listens to me usually. Even earlier, when I said, you go ahead because when you get back, I won't be here. No one listened to me. They think I'm a total liar. They constantly repeat that what I say must be false. But not this time. Right now, I'm waiting for my boyfriend. He'll be here any minute. We agreed on this. Since during the festival, if something disappears or gets misplaced, no one even notices. So we're going away. He's not carrying me off. I'm the one who's going away with him. I ordered him to come and get me. I told him, don't even think of doing something else this evening because we're all agreed. And he said yes because I think he's a little afraid of me. He says when I talk, I stun him with words, and he ends up doing everything I want. And in fact, I told him, make sure you arrive on time because we're leaving.
Where do you want to go?
We don't know. A better place than this? Because here, it used to be good. But now everyone says, there's an ill wind blowing these days, an ill wind for you. They say for me, there isn't going to be everything my parents had, but much less. And since my parents only had this hole of a cafe in a dark alley people only come in to pee, I don't even want to know what it's going to be like for me. I don't want to find out. I'll leave first. With my boyfriend, who comes from another world. He comes from another planet, practically, and ended up here by chance. It's clear as day. I could tell he was bad off here. He was suffering, like a fish gasping for air. And I stopped him in the playground at school where no one would speak to him, and I told him that if he wanted, we could walk home together. And he told me that he didn't have anywhere to go after school because he's totally free and can do anything he wants. So I told him that if he wanted somewhere to go, he could walk me home. Then, when we turned into this filthy alley that stinks of the sea, he threw me against the wall and put one hand on my butt and the other on my neck and stuck his tongue into my mouth. I ordered him to do it. So now we're engaged. In this place where I've grown up, there's always the smell the sea leaves behind when it recedes and everything dries up. But he comes from another world and doesn't even have parents. Now he's here, but if he decides to, he can leave. If he goes away, no one will even notice, just me. But if I go away with him, I won't suffer. Me, they'll notice after the celebration that I've gone, but then it'll be too late. I said so, but they don't listen. But you listen to me. Who are you, listening to me in silence? Maybe you're myself, come from the future to tell me something. Look, I'm not making you talk. If you're me, you should know I've waited for you every day. But now it's too late. I'm about to leave, and I don't want to know anything about the future beforehand. I want to discover it on my own. Now that you're here, you just sit there, shut up, and listen. You breathe and watch me, that's it. And by keeping your mouth shut, you encourage me to talk. You force me to talk. No one has ever left me so much space to say something. And now that I find the space to speak, I realize it's easy. I broaden out. One thing pulls another. I could broaden and broaden out even more. And thanks to you listening to me, I see things. I see a rat, a little white rat slipping away before the water rises. I hear the sound of water. You stand there silent, and I open up like a faucet. I flow like a river. I'm a powerful river. At school, the teachers say they don't know who I am and don't know me because I don't have time to talk. I don't have time to say anything because only they talk. At school, I listen. I listen like you. I can't do anything else. And finally, I almost piss myself. Aren't you pissing yourself now?
Yes, I believe I am.
Just outside the dark alley. While we wait, there's something I'd like to ask you.
Ask me anything you like.
How old are you?
What would you guess?
I don't know. We could be the same age, or you could be my father. I'm joking. I mean to say you have a mature air.
I have a lot of experience.
I noticed.
You noticed.
I read all the reviews in your profile.
All of them? There's quite a few.
Yes, it took some time.
You didn't read them all. There are too many. I received many, many guests.
I read them all. I am a curious person.
Some time ago, I went through a difficult period.
I noticed.
Only a brief period, but very, very difficult.
I read some harsh reviews. Furious people. Recently, though, A+ all the way. In fact, when we met you, you made an excellent impression. How is that?
The early times were difficult for me.
I read some truly harsh words.
One can always do the best possible work. You can be perfect for years, but then there's the time you make a mistake. Something goes wrong or doesn't work. That's all anyone remembers.
Is it true, what they say?
I had so many things to keep track of. Sometimes I didn't show up for appointments, or I came without even having taken a shower. I was in pieces. I tried to hold it all together, but it just got worse and worse. I couldn't get any work done. No one asked me what was going on, what happened. Then I told myself, you got this place on its feet with your own resources. Only you can raise it up again.
It's clear as day you're a resourceful man with good ideas.
How can you tell?
Lots of things. From your shirt.
Do you think it's not a very respectful shirt?
It's colorful.
Yes. Yes, I like it.
In this city, everything seems to be telling you that you can do whatever you want, that you can conduct yourself like a free man, dress however you like. Obviously, it's the same where I live, but I forget that. Your appearance at work is incredibly important. How you present yourself, how you dress, everything. This is what tells other people what kind of person you are.
Yes. The shirt might not be very respectful.
Strange for someone who has to welcome guests he's never seen before.
It's too colorful?
Well, it's only a colorful shirt, but if I were in your shoes...
What?
If I were in your shoes, I would try to appear a little more simple, more transparent, more legible. Dress is important. You know this perfectly well, being a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You said you studied medicine.
Yes. At home, I volunteered for the Red Cross. Then I started university. I liked it. I had so many things to take care of, I had to leave my studies behind. Right now, I want to buy a car. Then maybe I can start studying again.
What I mean to say is that your appearance can make you seem a more or less trustworthy person. Just a bit of advice.
I understand. Thank you.
This obviously doesn't take away from the fact that I trust you. We trusted you immediately from the excellent impression you made on us, despite the glitch.
That's never happened before.
There's also another thing I want to tell you. I say this just because we already paid when we made the reservation. We have paid for something that doesn't exist. It's important you realize that this is not just any vacation for us. That's why it would be best if the place you're taking us to really existed, and that it be at least similar to the way you've described it. This vacation is really important to us. I think she and I could move here. We'd be happy in a place like this.
You chose the wrong time. Tonight, the city will be unrecognizable. It'll be impossible to get any idea of what it's like.
The woman catches up with the host and the man and listens to them in silence. Neither of the two notes her presence.
That's what she says, too. She says, anyway, people don't go on vacation to get an idea of a place. But in my opinion, to understand something, you have to see it in its maximum potential. In this moment, I am an open door. I say yes to everything. I'm open. I trust. I'm afraid of missing any opportunity that shows me a different life. A life I could live. Far from that shithole city where I do a job I could get paid much more for somewhere else. So I let myself go into anything. I'm open to getting lost. Before leaving, I said, I want to have fun. Forget who I am and where I come from. It's just a thing you say, obviously, for a few days. That's what I'm seeking here. I go on vacation to imagine a different life for myself.
You have to have eyes to see, to look. You have to have them wide open. So keep your eyes wide open and you'll find what you need.
You know what I need?
Since you have paid, I'll give you what you want from me. But what you really want, you have to find on your own.
I want this vacation to go well.
That goes for anything you want.
And now you know what I want.
We're the same age. We're under the same sky. And we call some other place home. That's all I know. The host notices the presence of the woman.
Now the man also sees the woman.
The woman looks at the man. On the tram. Do we still have a lot of stops to go?
We're almost there. This is the lowest part of the city. We're below sea level.
With such a long trip, we could end up on the other side of the world.
The other side of the world begins here.
In what sense?
Nothing. I'm just saying. This is the other side of the world for those from the other side of the world. Maybe for you too. You're disoriented. You're a little tired. You're far from home and don't know how this place works. But it's just a moment of transition. You'll forget the strange sensation as soon as you get to an apartment that you'll be able to call home for a few days. You'll pretend it's your own home. Some people manage to pretend that a place is home for their entire lives.
When did you leave to come here?
It was April.
How'd you travel?
A long trip. I took a car, then on foot, then train, then on foot again, then a boat. When I arrived, I lost all my things along the way, and I started all over again.
Why didn't you fly?
I'm afraid of flying.
Why'd you leave?
Like everyone, family problems. I wanted out. I wanted to live in a beautiful city full of tourists, sunny, beautiful women, job offers, freedom and rights. I wanted to meet new people. I was bored. I didn't trust the future I saw before me. I wanted to seek a different one. I wanted an excuse to travel. They said there was a good university here. They said there was work. They said everyone finds a place for themselves here. They said even someone coming from the other side of the world can find his place here. They said a lot of things about this city. Once a man told me, I saw a TV movie they've been filming there for years. In the opening clip, you see a family having a meal in front of the TV on the sofa, along with the father and mother and 3 kids. There's also a dog eating along with them. So the man told me, if that's how they treat the dogs, imagine how well off people are.
What kind of person are you?
What's that mean? What kind of question is that?
It means what kind of person are you? How do you see yourself? Is there something about you don't like? Something in your character or your physical aspect? Do you have a lot of friends? And women friends? Are you religious? Do you consider yourself politically active? What do you do when you're bored? Do you play an instrument? Have you ever killed someone? Is there something you like in particular? Are you inclined to trust strangers? Have you ever betrayed anyone? Do you know the history of this place well? Do you like to cook?
I'm an easygoing type.
Why all these questions?
So we know one another better.
It's no problem. You can ask me anything you like.
We're here.
Almost.
This is the end of the line.
Yeah, just a few steps and we're there.
A threshold.
We've followed you this far. We're still following you. It's reasonable. We're a step from our goal. It would be stupid to give up now.
You can wait for me here.
Where are we?
We're here. I'll go get the keys and walk you to the efficiency.
Where are you going?
To get the keys. Relax. It's all over. We made it. My brother is here nearby. Now, just wait for me here. Let me go. It's pointless for you to come along. I'll just be a moment. The host disappears into the darkness.
He's gone.
He went to get the keys.
Let's wait.
Let's go.
Where do you want to go?
Somewhere better than this. We've seen what we wanted to see. Now we can go.
What have you seen?
Doesn't seem much of a place to be.
It seems like a place you'd find in a lot of cities, a residential neighborhood.
It's an unnerving outskirt.
What's unnerving?
It's destroyed. It's like there was a war here.
It's just the outskirts.
Agreed. Is there something that interests you here?
Well, it's perfect for getting a general idea.
An idea about what?
An idea of the place.
Everybody's watching us.
There's no one here.
There. Down there. There's a group of men or boys. They're in the shadows even though it's dark out, and they're staring at us.
I don't see them.
You can see the whites of their eyes. And I hear music.
That's the festival music coming from downtown.
No. It's their car radio. It's parked near them with the headlights off.
They're far away and not interested in us.
They're there with nothing to do, and they're staring at us. And there's no reason for standing there in the shadows since it's dark out anyway.
They're smoking.
There's only huge buildings around here. Their windows shut or the lights off.
There are places like this in every city.
Places where tourists don't go.
If you want to leave, we'll wait for him and tell him we changed our minds. You'll come up with something. That we found a room somewhere. Even if it's perfectly clear that's not true.
There's no apartment. No efficiency.
If he wanted to abandon us somewhere, he could have done it at any moment. There must be something.
It's one thing to trust a person, it's another to put yourself totally in his hands.
You don't want to sleep in a place where you'd picture a worse life than the one you lead at home, right?
That's not what we imagined when we set out.
I know you.
Where are you going?
I'm not afraid of seeing. Seeing something doesn't make you forget who you are. We're not losing anything here. We're not prisoners. We're just passing through.
Yes, but where are you going?
I'm gonna look for him to tell him we're leaving.
You shouldn't go by yourself.
Okay, come with me.
I'd rather stay here.
Here. Why?
In the light.
It's not so dark out.
But it is.
You're not saying yes to everything anymore, huh?
No.
Wait for me.
Where exactly are you going? Do you know where you're going?
The woman disappears into the darkness.
The man makes to follow her. He stops. He's alone. He goes off in the opposite direction toward a light.
A mother. At the entrance to an internet point. Light everywhere. So much light you almost can't see.
Are you open?
We're always open. People need to come here. We welcome everyone.
Seems closed.
You just have to open the door.
So why are you standing here outside the entrance with your arms crossed? That's no way to invite people in.
If you want to come in, just ask. Looking for something?
Yes, I have to go online.
Come right in.
There's no reception anywhere. I have to go online, but my cell phone has no signal.
It's impossible to get your cell phone to work the first night of the celebration.
You're not going to the party?
I'm a mother. I stay here outside the store and pray that my kids don't crack their heads open somewhere. Are you coming in or not?
Where can I sit?
You can sit wherever you like. See, all the positions are free.
There's an unnatural silence in here. I can hear my own heartbeat.
Because this is a place for listening.
The sign says it's an internet point.
Yes, a place people come to call, talk, and listen to people on the other side of the world. If there's no silence, you can't hear anything or misunderstand. Words misheard coming from the other side of the world can trigger a catastrophe. Why are you standing there in the doorway undecided and don't come in? What are you waiting for? Do you have to make an urgent call?
I have to reserve a room in a hotel, go have a shower, and go out. It was an incredibly long trip getting here.
If you're lost, it's better to wait for this night to be over before you start traveling again.
I didn't say I was lost.
Why? A man who has nowhere to go is not a man who is lost.
I'll just be a few minutes.
Take all the time you want. No one's going to come here tonight. I'm here, and if you want to talk, I'll listen.
Talk about what?
About you. Tell me your story. Why you left. When. How. What you're seeking here.
I'm just passing through.
Almost everyone thinks they're just passing through. And then they never manage to leave. My son, too. The first. He didn't want to come here. He just stopped along the road. Then he stayed. I called him from home and asked how he was doing. He always said, great. Sent money, too, and fantastic photos. But he said, I don't want to stay. I can't leave. I can't go back home. He was blocked. He stayed so long that finally I and the last one, my youngest son, came to join him. I had another one, too. The second one, the middle one, but I lost him along the way. Do you want to see a photograph?
A photograph of what?
That my son sent me.
Sure.
Here, look. The mother hands the man a cell phone.
The man looks at a photo on the screen.
You see?
Yes.
What do you see?
It's beautiful.
Do you recognize yourself?
Me? Why? I'm a totally different person. A man who grew up practically on the other side of the world.
Yes, but you're also a son.
Yes.
Does your mother know where you are right now?
No, she doesn't know.
What if something happens to you? Didn't you think of that? Your mother wouldn't even know where you are.
What could happen to me? Do you know something that could happen to me? I travel with a current passport. I have financial resources, and I'm in a city I've never seen, but it's similar to many others I visited. This is my world. I know it. I move around in it without any problem. I'm not afraid. So I walk straight down the road. I don't look back, even if I hear steps or the sound of a car following me slowly with its headlights off. Even if a man or a boy behind me whistles to call me or summon one of his mates, because I saw the ones who were following me. Maybe they think I didn't, but I noticed them. They can't do anything to me, so I didn't stop, because I have nothing to be afraid of. No motive to stop and ask what they want or not to come in here, like a free man. So I go straight down my path. Or is it for them? Is it they who have driven me to this point? And where are they now? Are they waiting for me around the corner? Or did they get bored and leave? Or are they somewhere spying on me to see who I am, where I come from, and what I'm seeking here?
I know. Sometimes a man who doesn't know where to go is like a rabbit in a trap. A little white bunny who rushes here, rushes there, and ends up with its back against the wall.
Psst. Hey, what are you looking for?
I'm waiting for someone.
I don't think so. Are you lost?
I'm not alone. I'm with someone from the neighborhood.
I just want to talk.
I don't want to talk.
Everyone wants to talk.
Leave me alone. We don't know each other.
Because you don't know anyone. It's clear as day you're not from here, and you don't know where to go.
What do you want?
Your phone. Hand it over.
Don't hurt me.
I don't want to hurt you. Relax. Are you relaxed?
Yes?
You have to stay calm. You'll see. It'll be fine.
You're the one who's threatening me.
I'm not threatening you.
Take off your sunglasses.
If you're lost, I can walk you where you want to go.
Did you break off from that group of men and follow me?
What men?
How long have you been following me?
I'm not following you. You walked past me. You didn't notice because I was in the shadows. Don't be afraid. Everything is fine.
Look, you're the one threatening me. I'm telling you, it's you who's making me afraid, so you can't calm me down.
I'm not threatening you.
No?
I'm asking you to give me something. Look at me. What do you see?
A man? An unknown man?
Exactly. I'm not threatening you with a weapon.
You don't need a weapon to threaten me.
If you're afraid because you don't know me, look at me closely and you'll get used to me. When you get accustomed, I won't be scary. I don't like scaring people.
Look, we don't have to get to know one another. We can just say goodbye here.
As you wish, but first, give me your phone.
And what use is it to you?
I need it more than you do.
Why?
To call home. You haven't heard from me in a long time.
Are you lost?
Yes.
Me too, I think.
Quite a problem.
Please go away and don't touch me.
Am I so unbearable?
It's violent to stop someone in the middle of the street and take their things.
I didn't stop you. You're the one who stopped.
I can't give you my phone. I need it.
But if it were the only way to save you or save me, would you give it to me?
If it was like that, yes.
That's how it is. So hand it over.
You see how you're threatening me?
Now, maybe, yes. But it's to make you understand.
Understand what?
Now, you're afraid of being robbed. But once I've robbed you and gone away, you'll realize nothing happened. That I didn't hurt you. You lost something, and it's not so bad. On the contrary, you'll feel relieved for having bought. With that little thing of no value, your safety, and maybe, you never know, mine too. It's lucky to be able to purchase safety for so little. And you'll know that soon. In fact, it's already that way. I can see it in your eyes. You're already thinking that you don't care about the phone. So as long as all this comes to an end, is that so?
Can I at least keep the SIM card? It makes no difference to you.
Sure. Go ahead. Take it out.
The woman takes out her phone and removes the SIM card. Then she holds out the phone to
The other, who takes it, looks at it, and puts it in his pocket. Thank you.
Now what happens?
Now look at me. What do you see? The other takes off his sunglasses. They look into one another's eyes.
I see a man, skinny, his eyes creased by tiredness. He doesn't sleep much. His nails are yellow with nicotine and his jacket is zipped up to his neck, even though it's unbelievably hot. And he's looking at me. But at the same moment he sees behind me, beyond me, beyond the buildings, he sees what's happening at the celebration, all the way to the beach. And he's listening to what I say, but also all the little sounds around here, even those far off, like a rat who feels all the vibrations and knows the right moment to run. He'd certainly know it before I would. But I'm not sure that what I see is really what I have before me.
Now, run. Run as far as you can from this dangerous foreigner standing in the middle of your street.
A story. The mother speaks into a cell phone.
Where are you? I can't hear you. What are you saying? I can't understand very well. Too much wind. Don't pretend to be just a distant whistle. I know you're there somewhere. I still have all your things. I brought them with me. I've never washed your t-shirt. It still has your sweat. And the bandage we used to bind the wound on your leg. That wound. The one you told a different story about every day. One day you said, I did it falling off a motorbike. The brake punctured my calf. One day you said, I argued with a friend over a woman and he stabbed me with a broken bottle. One day, a violent street fight, a single swipe with a machete opened your flesh. Hastily, I stitched it up. I can't forget the effect it had on me to watch you bleed. You bled. Myself emptied out. The white bandage soaked in red blood is now yellow and dark brown. Your blood wasn't so dark. I remember it well. The wind is too strong. I can't hear you. I can't hear what you're saying. Maybe because you aren't saying anything. You're angry with me because I went away. Is that it? You came home looking for me. You opened the door and I wasn't there. You arrived on foot, covered with dust, lips dry and spitting sand. You opened the door, hungry and thirsty, and I should have been there. I shouldn't have been anywhere else. In the house you were born in, with a glass of water. When you left, I kissed you at the door as though you were my only son. Then I made a promise, and I waited for you. That's why I didn't want to leave. I took not one step away from that house. And your little brother told me he's not ever coming back. And me, he'll come back. And the neighbors said, our son never returned, yours won't return. And me, you'll see, mine will come back. But you didn't come back. And I thought, tonight, I'll dream of him and finally I'll know where he is. And I laid awake all night waiting for you. Let me explain. You're the most important thing to me. Well, I say so to all my sons, and for all my sons, it's true. I didn't leave the house and stared at the door all day long. The door never spoke. But one day, someone started pounding on it. Not knocking, pounding to beat it down. And I knew it wasn't you, because for you, the door would never have been closed. It would have thrown itself open to you because it was your house. So I told your little brother to hide in the closet. And when he shut the closet, the door crashed in and made a noise. The torn-off door made a sound like a scream of pain, and a man came in. He was a soldier. But it wasn't you. He had a uniform on. But I'm not sure it was a uniform. I'm not sure it was a soldier. But it doesn't matter because it was just a man. And that man said, take off your clothes, whore, stinking black filthy bitch. And I said, I'm a mother. Leave me alone. But he didn't understand a word of what I was saying. Nothing comes through. Nothing of what you're saying. Just the wind beating on my eardrums, or maybe the sea. Is it the sea? Or the wind over the sea? There are things... There are things I can't tell you this way. I'd have to hold your hands tight to tell you them. Not look into your eyes. I wouldn't be able to do that. I've carried it with me, the way you squeeze my hand. If I think about it, I feel good. Your warm, sweaty hand that grew inside mine and became bigger. I see your hand reaching for the door of the house. But the handle isn't there anymore. Not even the windows. Maybe just the skeleton of that house. Gently kick away what remains of the door and you won't recognize anything. Try to understand. If you'd been there, you wouldn't have recognized me. At that point, I couldn't stay anymore. And your little brother, in the meantime, you should see him. He'd become a man. He told me, We're leaving tomorrow. At that point, I was standing still before the door without moving, and without drinking, and without eating, and without speaking for days, and I couldn't even say no. If I went away, it was only because I'd stopped talking. I couldn't say, I'll stay here and wait. Now, I called you only because I wanted to tell you that since a little while ago, I've started dreaming. I dream of you every night while you come back to look for me. After an incredibly long voyage, you open your mouth to call me, and I can feel you haven't spoken for an eternity. So long that you can't speak. Not even words come from your mouth. Just a whistle. I'm there by the door, waiting for you. The door won't speak. At a certain point, someone starts pounding on it from outside, pounding so hard he seems to want to wound it. But no, the door gives way. It gives itself up, gently, and there you are. And you don't hate me. I just called to tell you, like a dummy. Your mommy's a dummy. With all the things you must be going through, what could you care about what I dream of at night? But I wanted to tell you. I'd like to know what you dream about. But I can't hear anything. Now I can't hear anything at all. Not even the wind or the sea.
Another encounter. The man under a street lamp.
The other emerges from the darkness. He's wearing sunglasses. He comes up behind the man.
The man turns and is surprised by him.
The other hides his hand in the pocket of his jacket and points towards the man what could be a pistol. But we don't know because the hand remains inside the jacket pocket. Looking more closely, it seems like there's nothing in the other's pocket but his hand. You understand perfectly well that the best thing is for you to give me all your money and go back where you came from.
Why? If I don't, what are you going to do?
Otherwise, I'll shoot you between the eyes.
If you have a gun and want to threaten me, the best thing for you is to show it to me.
You want to see it? You're not afraid?
I know you.
No.
I know you, or I know your brother, or your mother.
Only because you think we all look alike doesn't mean that we're all related.
Where is your family?
Are you afraid my brothers are hiding nearby and they'll come help me if we don't play along?
To tell you the truth, I really don't know what to think. I'm not afraid. A mother just reassured me that nothing's going to happen to me, that I can move around in peace.
Yeah, we're all friends here. It's a regular neighborhood.
At home, in my city, I take the dog out every night. I cross the park in the dark. Everyone tells me not to go there at night because some nasty faces come out. But with my dog, I'm not afraid. Only once a man tried to rob me. He pretended he had a gun with his hand in his jacket pocket. My dog barked, leapt at him, and bit him on the calf. The man, you could tell he was afraid of the dog. He ran off, limping. He was bleeding. I yelled at him to stop, that he had to go to the emergency room, but he was so afraid he didn't stop to listen. Here, I can't bring myself to leave this lighted area. I'm hooked to the streetlights. Maybe without a dog, I'm not the same man.
That's because you're a stranger here. A person moves around in the dark only in a place he knows.
I'm not a stranger. I'm just a tourist.
We're all strangers here.
What do you want? Money?
Yes.
You're hard up?
Let's just say it's best you give me something. I know this area well and can help you.
Like your brother?
What's my brother have to do with it?
Your brother, who brought me and my partner here, and now I don't know where I am or even where she is. I call her, but her phone's off. There's no reception.
My brother and I haven't talked for years. He doesn't even know I'm here, and I don't know where he is. But I know where she is. If you want, I can take you there.
What's that mean?
To your traveling companion.
What have you done to her?
Nothing. But I saw her. It's easy to spot you. You can tell right off you're not from here.
Take me to her right now. Is she with your brother?
I already told you. I have no brother. I'm an only child.
Tell me what happened to her.
Nothing. I don't think. Nothing ever happens around here.
I'm calling the police.
Calm down. I doubt you can call the police because during the festival, you can never find them. I don't see why you're so tense. Maybe because you just got here. When I first came here, I was so confused. It's really an incredible story. I don't know whether it's me who got something wrong or it's just this crazy, crazy, crazy town.
Take me to her. I'll pay you.
Sure, I'll take you to her. Who do you think I am? At least you're with someone. When I got here, I didn't know a soul. My plane landed late. After 12 hours in the air, I was a wreck. So I go to the baggage area. And truly, the only thing in my mind is I hope they didn't lose my suitcase with all my stuff in it. But it's all fine because the bag is there and I walk into the airport happy. I change some money, I get to a taxi and they take me to the hotel. I take a nice shower and sleep for a while. When I wake up, it's dinner time. Then I go out to eat in a restaurant that the guy at the hotel desk recommends to me. And there I meet my fellow countrymen. I'm thinking, they send all the tourists to the same places where they meet only tourists. I feel a little screwed, but they're friendly and offer me a round of drinks. I order the next round, then we go to another bar, and so on until 4 a.m. Everything's fine until one of them begins telling a story about something absurd that happened to him at immigration control with the woman who had to stamp his passport. She looks at his passport and says, "Just a moment. I have to check with federal police." Then she takes the passport and disappears for 15 minutes. He doesn't know what to say. 15 very long minutes. But it's all good because she comes back and says, "Everything's cool." She stamps the passport and he's free. Oh, another round. Only then a strange thing comes to mind and I tell the others, I didn't go through immigration control. They say that's impossible. And me, I swear, there was no control. I got out of the plane, followed the signs, and found myself outside of the airport, and no one stopped me. Silence. Then one guy says, "Are you insane? It's impossible with all the checkpoints they have here." So I look at my passport to show him, and there's no stamp in it, and realize I left it at the hotel. I pay the last round and the last money I have and return to the hotel before someone can stop me. I'm not worried. It's not my fault. They must have had some security glitch. I'll take care of it in the morning. In the street, there's a bunch of people with their faces in shock, and the sky is orange. But it's not a normal dawn. Strange. It's like the city is mute. Firemen are blocking the road. I can see the hotel. And this is the really absurd thing. The hotel is on fire. There's been a fire, and the whole place has burned down. Only skeleton remains. And all my stuff is gone. All my documents. I'm no one. I'm just a sleepy, half-drunk man with no name and no home. I go to the beach to sleep. I wake up and the first thing I see is the sea. And so ever since I live on whatever I can, I try to put enough money aside to go back home or buy myself something decent to wear in hopes someone might recognize me, that someone might remember the man I was before.
What do you want?
Some money. I told you.
Beat it, or I'll break your legs.
Don't you want me to take you to her?
Do you know where she is? Do you really know? If you lie to me, I'll kill you.
I'm not lying.
Let's go.
First, give me the money.
The man takes out his wallet and gives some money to the other.
The other counts the cash and waits.
The man gives him some more money.
I hope you walk fast. I don't have much time. The other takes the money and runs off, disappears.
Stop! Wait! The man throws himself into the dark after the other.
Another story. The woman under a streetlight.
The host approaches her.
They look one another in the eyes.
I came back for you a few minutes later. You disappeared. I looked for you for a while, then gave up. I was going back home.
I was looking for you and got lost.
We were looking for each other and never met.
The party's over.
Yes, for tonight. It'll start up again tomorrow afternoon. You haven't missed anything.
I don't want to see it. I think I'll leave.
To go where?
Home.
This is the best season to be here. It's hot, but not too hot. It was like this when I came here. After the voyage, I couldn't believe I was really here. I felt treated like a real guest. They said, "Do as you would at your own home." I thought right away, my future is here. That's what I was thinking when I left. My future is there. The day before I left, I packed my backpack and went to sleep at a friend's house. In the morning, I called up my mother and told her, "Mama, I'm going away. I've decided to make the trip." I called her because I couldn't tell her to her face. It hurt too bad. The voyage is the only part of my story I don't tell anyone.
The woman looks at the host.
I broke the trip up into various stages. That way I saw a bunch of different places. That's why I still haven't started traveling again. I took one voyage only, but it basically counts for 100. I saw them all. I met friends and lost them. I left them along the way. I slept in the open in winter, in places where many people think there is no winter. I washed cars, windshields with frozen hands to earn some change. I stole. I met a lot of curious people. They beat me. They gave me electric shocks. They cut me to find out what color my blood was. They paid to fuck me, and then they beat me. They penetrated me with an iron bar. They told me I was filthy. They washed me with frozen water. They told me I was good for labor. I labored. I slept in a tin shack with 100 others. Neither companions nor friends. We didn't look at each other in the eyes. I woke up next to a dead man. I ran away. I ate whatever I found. I went hungry. I smoked every cigarette I could get my hands on. I was thirsty. I thought about my mother. I had a deadly infection. I stopped dreaming. I was afraid of my own shadow. I hid in the carcass of an abandoned car. I got out when the sun got too hot. I rummaged through dumpsters. I met a generous man who helped me find the money to leave again. I did it all in 2 years. It was May when I arrived. It seems a lifetime ago. All I wanted was to take a shower, drink, eat something, and sleep. And I didn't want to talk to anyone. After some months, I started to talk again, then to dream, then to phone home. Do you want to see a photo?
A photo of what?
My first day at university. I attended for a year before leaving.
Yes.
The host hands the woman a cell phone.
The woman looks at the photo on the screen.
What do you see?
I see a man, young, smiling. He's well dressed, a fresh haircut, and had his photo taken next to a newly washed car, polished to a shine. It's sunny, a tree at his back. The man isn't looking into the camera, he's smiling at the person who's taking the picture.
Is that me? That man?
I don't know. I couldn't say. The woman hands the phone back to the host. They look into one another's eyes in silence.
The host goes away for good.
The light is changing. The beginning of a long, very slow dawn.
The man is making a call on his phone. No one answers. The call ends. He comes to the woman. I looked for you all night long. How long have you been waiting here? Is this where we split up? I don't think I lost my sense of direction. I've never seen this place before. I followed the connection to try to call you. I was followed by a group of men. They tried to rob me, and I ran into a man I'd paid to bring me to you, but I didn't lose my sense of direction. I could trace the whole way back, except for the point of departure. I can't find that again, and don't try to convince me we're back where we began. The destination was always somewhere else, and we kept changing position. Couldn't see the end. We split up, and I wandered, lost for hours. At the end, nothing happened all night long. If something happened, it happened somewhere else. Not here, not to me. Maybe downtown or farther, or in the dark, or in some outskirt of the world outside this protected zone. And from your calm face, I deduced the same from you. That nothing happened to you either. Did something happen to you? I tried to call you. Did your phone go dead?
What man did you pay to bring you to me?
Stranger, an unknown man.
I lost the phone. It was too dark to find again. I walked in the dark. My eyes got accustomed to it. I heard someone laughing at me. I felt out of place. Then I saw myself reflected in the window of a store that was closed. I laughed at myself, too. I wandered around with my shoulders bent. I looked like a rabbit, a little scared white bunny. I thought, you want to travel the world, and then as soon as you're alone for a moment, you fall apart. So, I tried to hold my head up. You know, it's your stride that tells whether you're vulnerable or not. Then I was easier on myself and said out loud, you want to admit you're afraid? It's calming to admit. It's not your fault if you're afraid to wander around alone in a neighborhood without streetlights which has never seen the light. Someone is following you. Someone who confuses a woman with a little animal, for example, but I couldn't say whether someone was really following me. And in the meantime, however, I'd taken on this decisive stride which is not my way of walking. It's strange how we adapt to become someone when we need to. I told myself, walk like you had a glass bottle in your hand to crack a head with. Walk like you were a blade. Walk like this was your home. The exact opposite of what I do when I meet a stranger in a different place than this. Usually I smile and show kindness, lots of kindness, too much kindness. It takes a lot of energy. And afterward I ask myself, why did I do that? I become someone, not myself. I get whatever I can to be left in peace or a favor. I was thinking in the dark, alone, without a destination, stranger to myself. I felt such a stranger in my own body that I decided to let everything go. I said, now stop me. Enemy, alien, stranger, unknown man, derelict, murderer, lover, betrayer, rescuer, darkness, emptiness, lost soul. Stop me and you'll find neither a rock nor an open door nor a pointed blade nor a sheet of blank paper. You'll find a woman. Tall, skinny, white skin, curly hair, fat, bobbed hair, black skin, broad hips, nice dress, slender, obese, the ugliest shoes she has, narrow little waist, green eyes, bags under her eyes, pink lips, head held high, freckles. An ugly tattoo, a see-through shirt, huge eyes, nails a bit yellow from nicotine. Young, sort of short, too old, infantile, red nail polish, jeans, little boots, glasses, long, straight blonde hair, a lover, an independent professional with all her papers in order, a warrior, a shadow, a lost tourist. Stop me, and you'll see all these things together, and you won't know where to look anymore. Stop me now, and I'll face you. I'll look you in the eyes. But no one stopped me.
Do you want to go somewhere?
No.
Do you want to go back home?
No, I want to stay.
Everyone went to bed while we got lost.
Let's go.
Where?
We'll take a tram.
To go where?
To the beach.
You want to be by the sea?
I want to sleep.
On the beach?
Let's go.
I'll follow you.
You were right after all. Nothing happened at all. The sun has come up.
Epilogue. Hi, it's me. Sorry if I'm just calling you now. I know I should have phoned before. I'm calling to say goodnight because it's already night on the other side of the world. Here there's always so much light, and in a minute it goes dark. You don't even notice that you still have your sunglasses on. I'm fine. I got a job in a cafe, and now I'm taking a language course. It's free. The cafe where I work is a downtown cafe, and we do a lot of great things with expensive organic products. I can afford things like that because the salary is good, and also they give you a monthly payment you can spend on food. Plus the tips I earn, I spend all on good, healthy food. I go to work by bike. Everywhere there are bike paths. No one uses a car. The roads are clean. Now that I've started earning, I live in a gorgeous neighborhood with artists and architects and young people with young children. There are parks and little clubs, bookstores, supermarkets, movie theaters, schools, and kindergartens. I live in an apartment with lots of bright rooms and an immense living room. I split the rent with girls and boys who come from every country in the world, and we get along famously. In the evening, we dine together, and everyone cooks something from their own country and teaches the others how to make it, and then we share everything. When I finish the language course, I'm going to register for the university. I've already decided, but I haven't decided what to study. It's easy to get a scholarship, and the books are free. Here, there's something to do for everyone. You never get bored. I swim, do yoga, take a cooking course, grow tomatoes on the terrace, go dancing, have a cat who sleeps in my bed. Every week, I go to concerts and shows and movies and to dinner with people I just met. People are hospitable here. It's all perfect. Except for the darkness. When the darkness comes down from one moment to the next and you haven't had time to prepare yourself. But it's nothing serious. I hope you're all well. Now I have to say goodbye. I'm calling you from my new number. Save it. That's why I called, to give you my number, to tell you I'm well and that the trip went well. It was long, but a beautiful experience. I'll talk to you soon, whenever you want. I'll call you tomorrow, soon, before it gets dark.